Hey there, guys, and welcome to the latest episode of the Smashing Crossbar Podcast. I'm your host, Josh, and with me today, I am joined once again by Ben Stokes from Corner Flag Games. Mate, how are we?
I'm very good, mate. I'm very good. How have you been?
Absolutely fabulous, mate. We are back in action. Obviously, played one game, one draw. We picked up points, and we're not sitting last. So
we're not sitting last, and I'm pretty sure we're above the Mariners too.
Got to be happy with that. So, on this week's episode, we will obviously discuss the game against the Mariners. We will then move obviously into the upcoming game against Adelaide, who obviously have just played midweek, which we'll get into obviously and work out whether we think it's going to be a good thing that they've already played and obviously got a quick turnaround plus a flight to Newcastle, or if we don't think it's going to interfere with their A League preparation and so forth, winning the FA Cup. We've also got Laurie McKenna's questions later on in the show, and obviously we'll talk a little bit about general A League as well, obviously in Team of the Week. So, mate, we'll kick it off. Obviously, round 2 down at Blue Tongue Stadium. 1-1 result.
I picked it.
Yes, you picked it. I think I said 2-2. Was expecting a little bit more of a hype than what we got, but unfortunately. But yeah, your thoughts. Obviously, what was it? 3-4 minutes into the game, obviously we conceded. Very, very slow start.
Very, very slow start. It was obvious that the lads had, it was the first game of the season. Things looked a bit ropey for the first more than 3 minutes. But yeah, just Mariners pinching one very early, coming out the blocks fast, and yeah, just caught us on the break.
Plenty of missed opportunities, and I don't think that's just per se shots on goals or anything like that. I think it's just in tackles,
for
possession.
Both sides, to be fair.
Well, yeah, to be fair, obviously, both sides obviously weren't the best, obviously in possession, but obviously your take on the first half. Once we got past the goal, did you see? Obviously, it was probably our best lineup we could have produced with what we've got. There's obviously a lot of people who have had their issues with obviously the likes of obviously Ken Roski, obviously, that can come back into the side.
Yep.
But he's pretty much the only senior authority left.
Yeah, and Bobby Burns. Unfortunately, Johnny K had an absolutely woeful night.
Yeah, we'll get into a little bit about obviously Johnny K's performance, and obviously once Bobby did come on, but I want to talk a little bit before we go into it. Obviously, the whole we'll talk about a little bit about Redenton. I'm intrigued to hear your thoughts. The whole week I've heard plenty of ups and downs about him. He's Merrick's puppet. He's Golden Boy.
Yeah.
Do you think he should have started the game, especially where the position he started?
Well, to be brutally honest, it's difficult. Like you said, we were working with what we had available to us. In the end, with what we had available to us, Redenton was probably the best fit for that.
Yep.
Did he play well? It's not one of the better performances I've seen him have in a Jets shirt, but he does sort of tend to be moved around a bit in what his job is in midfield. Going back to your previous question of what my thoughts are of Redenton, you've known that from day one. Since he actually came into the club, I thought he was trash then, and I think he's trash now. But I might say the word trash, but I use that term quite very, very lightly. For the right application, for the right team, for the right, I'm not going to use the M word, for the right setup, yep. He can be a very useful player. Do we utilise his strengths? Probably not. Mm-hmm. But yeah, it's a hard one. I don't think he's trash in the way that he's a bad player. I just think he's trash for the way that he is utilised in our system.
Yep. Yeah, look, I'd agree with that. Obviously, a lot of people are obviously we've been told that Ken has been training and he's been named in the 20-man squad earlier today. And obviously a lot of people would like to see him come straight back into the squad. Do you think that's going to happen? Do you think, someone as injury-prone as Kianowski, his pre-season's been very up and down. I think he's probably only had, I'd say, no more than 60 minutes of football in pre-season. He's a veteran, obviously, of the team and everything else, but do you think he comes straight back into the squad?
Look, if you'd asked me this question 3 years ago, I'd have said yes. With his age and his consistent chronic injury issues that he does have, as much as I'd like to see Cantor in that defensive midfield holding spot, as much as he's good at it, and as much as I like to see him there, and as much as I prefer him to be there over Redenton, I think it would be a big mistake to rush him in so quickly. I say, test the waters, see how Redenton goes in the first, 45, 60 minutes.
Yep.
And see how he goes.
Yeah. I don't know. You've got to love Beaker. Canner.
Yeah, we love BK.
You've got to love Kianowski, but I don't know. I think his time at the club is coming to an end. I think especially if Merrick stays on as a coach, I don't think, unfortunately, he's going to get a contract renewal. I think he was lucky to get one when he did. I think it was more of a club sort of loyalty thing, and
he's a cheap player.
He's cheap, exactly.
Because of that.
Cheap. Yeah. He's very good, obviously, in and around the club. Obviously, he's a very good senior figure at the club. A longer serving player, obviously, he's due to crack 300 this year if his body holds up, which obviously, we all hope that it does, and we'd love to see him crack that mark, because it's a massive feat for a bloke who came into the squad at the age of 16. I'm pretty sure it was.
Mm-hmm.
So,
and then there was that
homegrown,
all that Bayern Munich hubbub years and years and years ago.
Yeah, and so obviously it'd be definitely good to see him have a good season if this is going to be his last year.
Yeah. I suppose it's very difficult.
Yeah. Well, yeah, exactly right. So I'll just run through the lineup real quick. Obviously you had Mossy at the back, and then you've got Topper, you've got Boogs, and who else do we have there? Miller as well, and obviously Johnny Kay on the back line. And you've got Ugarkovic. Who else have we got there? Redenton and Dimmy as well through the middle. And then you've got Arroyo, Hoffman, and did I say
Fitzgerald?
Oh, Fitzy, yeah. Fitzgerald as well, yeah. Yeah, I did say Ugarkovic, I think, first. So, yeah, look, it's pretty much our strongest lineup. There's nothing you can really do other than that with what we've got. Mm-hmm. As I said, other than Kianowski coming into the squad. What we've seen on the weekend is what we've got.
Yeah, for the time being.
So, well, for the time being, till at least the new year. Mm-hmm. And myself personally, I think it's only going to dwindle more so. If Arroyo will obviously go in November over to Mexico and so forth, so that's at least a week gone there. Mm-hmm. In saying that, though, obviously I'm pretty sure that would mean there's a Socceroos game as well. So I do believe if two internationals go at the same time, we do have the option to go to FFA and ask for a reschedule.
Yep. But we probably won't get it because we're not Sydney FC.
Exactly. No one asked. Exactly right. Well, we just told. Should have
deal with it.
And they'll just turn around and go in the transfer window, mate.
And they'll just turn around and go have a look at Wellington. Are we playing Wellington during that time?
He's open, so.
Yeah, cross fingers.
He's open, so. And then obviously with Burns, the Petratos brothers, Jackson, Langlios, Thurgate, and obviously James on the bench. So the goal itself, 4 minutes in, cracker. You can't take it away from him. That was a great goal.
No, Milan Djuric was on fire for the coast all night.
Yeah,
and we struggled to close him down. We struggled to mark him. Pretty sprightly for a bloke that's like 32, I think. I can't remember. I know he's in his 30s.
Early 30s, yeah. And obviously it was left up to Johnny K to do the job.
And here's my pet peeve with that. You can see on the replay when that ball comes in, Johnny K is checking over his shoulder. He checked twice to see where Juric was. Yet still didn't move back. What was he expecting? Was he expecting that ball? Okay, so we weren't all expecting for Juric to hit it first time and slam it into the back of the net. You know, GG.
Yeah.
Credit where credit's due, even though he's a coastie. But, you know, you've still got to be able to cover that.
Yep.
Wouldn't you, me as an ex-player, a very low-level ex-player, I was always, you know, you're always taught, doesn't matter whether you know you're going to get that ball or not. You go over and you try and stop it. Why? Because you're going to put the striker off.
Yeah.
It makes them think. It makes them second guess. Did Johnny do that? Probably not. And the minute that goal came in and they knew that they could focus on Johnny K at the back, they just absolutely slammed him for the rest of the 45 minutes. Poor bloke at a rough trot. Mind you, we will admit, Johnny K's playing out of position. Traditionally coming through the NPL, he was a defensive midfielder. And in a jet shirt, he's played in multiple different positions. He's almost like the Cantor of old. The utility player, or trying to turn him into a utility player, which is not right.
Yeah, well, that's what I was going to say as well. Obviously, you've got plenty of fans and so forth that, you know, we're definitely happy to see him go at half time. Me included. I think he needed, unfortunately, to be subbed or at least moved. Because he wasn't doing the job.
He wasn't coping.
And I'm not saying that he wasn't doing the job that I'm sure Ernie friggin' requested him to do, or of a defender or anything like that. It just wasn't working. Whether that was what he was doing was what Ernie told him to do, and it just didn't work.
The Mariners exploited it. They saw it as a weak spot. Once they were consistently exploiting it, you can't expect the bloke, even as composed as what Johnny is, to sustain that sort of consistent pressure for 45 minutes and not make a mistake.
Yeah.
So, yeah, as much as I love Johnny K, I did have words with you at halftime going, he needs a rip.
Yeah. And it happened at halftime, obviously, because, you know, let's be honest, the first half was shambles. It was...
Oh, it was worrying. You could tell we hadn't played a competitive game.
Correct. It was worrying. It was, you know, shit. We got into halftime. It was like, holy crap, how didn't we concede anymore? Like,
and I'm sorry, the Fox Sports broadcast, they said it perfectly. And America's going to go into those sheds and give them an absolute rocket. And I swear he did.
If it was anything anything like a rocket that the Fox Sports commentators got before the game, I'm sure it was a fair whooping. Don't worry about that. But yeah, I think they came out in the second half. And mind you, obviously, this is all without Simon. Obviously, Simon didn't even start the game for the Coast.
Yeah.
I think, you know, again, I hate the Coast and so forth, and I hate Simon with a passion, but
I was a grub.
Oh, absolutely. But, you know, smart move to put him on the bench, you know. Like, yes, you're the captain and you are the senior person, senior player.
And that's because Stajic knows that if he puts him on for the first half, by the time it reaches anywhere near 90 minutes, he's going to cop a second yellow card.
It was close.
And he's gone.
He was close.
It was nearly close, only coming on for the second half.
He came on the second half, copped the yellow, I'm pretty sure. And
nearly got one 10 minutes later.
Yeah. So... look, you know, let's be honest. This isn't the Central Coast of last season.
And I said that to you in the very early stages of the FFA Cup rounds, that the Coast are not going to be easy beats anymore. They are not easy beats anymore. They've got a coach at the helm that can do good things, who's very good with working with youth and getting the best out of youth. He's got the right sort of experienced players there. As much as it hurts me to say it, Biras is one of them.
Yep.
To lead that, and he's brought back Matt Simon into that sort of fold as well. They are not going to be the easy beats. And I said to you very early on that this A League season is going to be completely different to all the other ones.
Yep.
There will be no easy beats. There will be shock results through this season. The entire way through this season. It is one of the hardest to pick who's going to fall where at the end of the season.
Yeah. No, I'd agree with that. We'll talk a little bit about obviously Bobby come on, and I think
He's very lively.
Impact straight away.
Yep.
And again, no disrespect to Johnny, but I think anyone could have come on and. I even think if Lockie Jackson, and I'm not a big fan of Lockie Jackson.
Nor am I.
I think even if he was to come on and fill that spot, I think it would have given our back line a little bit more up and down the wing.
Yeah.
And it's a lot more in defence. As you said, Johnny Cade's a defensive midfielder.
Yeah.
So he has that brain of a midfielder going forward. As where Lockie Jackson, outright fullback. So his head is obviously defensive. Always defensive. Whether he's up near the corner flag and having a good look at himself, going, what the hell am I doing up here? His instinct is always to get back.
Yeah, and that's something that Merrick trialled, what was it, last season or the season before. And after a couple of games, Lockie sort of got into it. He was getting higher and higher up the pitch. He was also getting back.
Yep. And
turned into quite a little weapon. The only thing that annoyed me about that is Lockie got the run and Ivan Vujicic never did.
Very true. So yeah, obviously, the second half, obviously possession wise, was a lot better. I still thought we were a little flat though. Obviously, in the first 15 minutes.
Well, yeah, we were sort of a bit flat for the entirety of the game, and that sort of showed in like major glimpses around the park. But we came into the second half a hell of a lot more comfortable.
Yep.
And once we found our footing, we did well. We were getting second balls. That was all well and good. We were all happy to chase as well. But in the last 10 to 15 minutes, we sort of reverted back to how we were in the first half.
Yep.
Things got sloppy. You could tell people were getting tired. Passes weren't making their destinations. And again, Milan Djuric, as he does, steps up and smacks one at the upright.
Yeah.
In the 89th.
Yeah. Your thoughts on Araya. Now, before I get it, let's be fair. He got nowhere near enough ball what I expected and what he should have got. I think that for the poor bloke got virtually nothing the whole game. I don't think, and I don't think it was for him lack of trying. Obviously, he's seen him come back nearly as far as midfield at some points.
Oh yeah, after the first 15 minutes when he was getting no ball, he started to drop in and find that space.
Yeah. So obviously, hopefully this week the boys can, hopefully this week in training they've sharpened up a bit, obviously in the passing, and they get him on the ball because I'm keen to see what he's got, because obviously Merrick and Laurie have both come out and virtually said that this bloke's just got speed to burn and he's going to beat the back line nearly every time. But we didn't see it. You know what I mean? Like there was no over the top balls for him to get onto or anything like that.
Even when Merrick was shown on the telecast, making the hand gesture to Nigel Bugard over the top.
Yeah. And let's be fair though, friggin' the Coasties defence was sitting very, very deep at times as well. They were very deep.
They were very solid.
So, as much as they're a bunch of pricks, as we just said, they're not the same side. They're going to cause a lot of people a lot of headaches this year.
They're back on the up and up, and I've said this in previous seasons as well. I want the Coast to be able to come up with a decent team and come and perform well. Why? Because it makes the derby a hell of a lot better.
100%. Yep.
It's everybody is now watching over their shoulders because of it. That's what you want.
Yeah. So we'll start heading towards the end of the game. Obviously, we got lucky with a penalty. A lot of people say we didn't get lucky. We got lucky. Was it a penalty? Yeah.
Yes.
Clear as day.
Clear as day.
But at the same time, if that penalty didn't come, we were getting beat.
Yeah.
In my opinion, we weren't scoring a goal. There wasn't.
Yep. Agree.
It was really the only sort of stoppage and in play and chances we had, as far as I'm concerned. There was a couple of little bits. Araya finally got one in very late. He finally got onto a ball that he created himself.
Yep.
Beat two defenders.
He'd had enough.
Yeah, exactly right. So look, clear penalty. Again, as we said last week, VAR right on top of it. they have not made a mistake yet, which is fantastic.
I reckon
Feel
somebody.
sorry for the blokes when they do, because it's going to come
Oh,
down.
I'm pretty sure somebody at FFA or the Independent A League, whoever's in charge of that sort of stuff now, has again done an Ernie Merrick and put the rocket up the VAR. And although it can be seen as a bit of over officiating. They don't want to get it wrong.
100%.
They're more scared about getting it wrong than what they are of letting the flow of play go.
Yeah. The time that's taken them, as you said, under a minute and a half to make a decision. Every decision has been made under that time limit. Every decision has been correct. We can live with a minute and a half.
Well, correct in the laws of the game, and I say that in air quotes.
Yes. But at the same time, it's no different to old mate friggin' having a 2-minute goal celebration or everything else. So, you can't really whinge about it.
The only other side of the coin that I've seen from some salty people, if we're going to talk about VAR and its decision of making a ruling in the laws of the game.
Yep.
Okay, Bira's come off his line. Okay, he was off his line. What keeper in the world doesn't?
100%. Exactly.
The thing is that prior to that, the ref had told Bira, don't come off your line.
Yeah.
Which you're going to do it. Which he admitted in the interview that he had with Tara in that post-game. That was fine. But it's all the other people that came out after the game and went, well, the second one should have been disallowed as well.
Correct.
Because there was encroachment on both sides.
Correct. It's because it was on both sides is why the goal scored.
Correct. And there's people going, oh, it's encroachment, nah, goal doesn't stand. And then you've got others going, yeah, okay, yeah, it's encroachment, but it was both sides.
Exactly right. It's no different to last year when we had to retake it. When
Roy's penalty.
Yeah, Roy's penalty.
Yeah.
When, I can't remember who it was, but one of our players, I'm pretty sure it was, stood in the box. I think it was Voyotza. I think it was, he come too...
Yeah, it was.
He come too early, and he had to retake it. So be it, and good decision again. But, mate, I tell you what, I hope Jurgen Klopp's not watching Australian VAR decisions, because
he'd be having a field day.
He'd be losing his shit right now. You can get it right in Australia in the bloody Mickey Mouse bloody league, but you can't do it right. You can't do it in the bloody Premier League, one of the biggest games of the year.
That's right. But even still, in saying that, the words laws of the game, and again I say that in air quotes, where does the line stop? Where do they draw the line?
Yeah, exactly right. Exactly right, and that's the biggest thing. So obviously we got the penalty, goes to 1-1 finally. Dimmy kicks the shit out of the corner post.
I'm pretty sure he snapped it in half.
Yeah,
but obviously he didn't.
They said he snapped it in half, but whatever. It wouldn't be the first one he has.
No, he broke one down here in Melbourne.
Yeah, that's exactly right. And I'm pretty sure he done one on the coast when we done mate too. Anyway.
Well, City leave them down at the corners now.
Yeah.
For when he does score. They just pick another one up.
I'm waiting for the team to bloody cement the bloody thing in. So when he does go to kick it,
no, because then he'll come out.
Maybe that's just something I would do. So
yeah, that's because you're an ass. That's why.
Yeah, I'd cement the thing in and just go right, kick that. So we get the goal. Sorry guys, we get the goal, and obviously we go to 1-1. As I said, the second half was a lot better, and we probably deserved the goal. But myself personally, I feel we needed to do more as a team. Obviously, again, it's your first game of the season.
Yeah.
Yes,
we just weren't there.
Yeah, and it'll come. It'll come.
It showed that we weren't there.
Yeah. 100%.
Now, moving on.
Yep.
We were talking about sort of this week as well.
Mm-hmm.
And me and you had quite a long phone conversation earlier this week about how we believe the Jets should be lining up.
Oh, yes.
I know it's very difficult to say this, and I know I'm pulling the trigger very quick on it.
Yep.
We've not been known to line up in a 4-3-3. We generally line up in a 4-2-3-1.
Yes.
Merrick's trying a 4-3-3.
Mm-hmm.
Right? With the players that we have available at our disposal.
Yep.
I had a conversation with you about maybe reverting back to a 4-3-2-1.
Yep.
For a couple of weeks.
Mm-hmm.
Until we flush out injuries and things like that.
Yep. Because
I believe in that structure, 90% of the team know that structure. And I'm going to throw this out on a limb here and say that that would be our backup structure should shit hit the fan.
Yep.
So they're going to be working on it, as well as working on the new 4-3-3.
Yeah.
With the current squad that we have at our disposal, I believe that it is best that we go back to a 4-2-3-1. Just with the players that we have, that they all know because the people in those major positions, and the problem is that defensive midfield.
Mm-hmm.
The pairing of Stevie Ugarkovic and whoever else it is.
Yep.
We need Stevie to be doing a job like that instead of sitting probably a little bit higher up in the midfield. I think he played on the left-hand side of the midfield against the Coast.
Yeah, he did.
Sort of again went missing.
Yep.
In parts. But screening, especially when you've got somebody playing at a fullback position like Johnny Kay, who's not 150% comfortable on that left-hand side, you need that extra cover to be able to come in. So in that 4-2-3-1, Fitzgerald doesn't have to come back as far to help because you've got that two-man defensive midfield to sort of slot back in and fill those holes in. Mm-hmm. Especially in the early part of the season when we're a bit, well, we're not so much out of form, but haven't really played yet.
Yeah, correct.
We're not match fit, match sharp, as you'd say. Redenton has played in that holding block before.
Yeah.
Redenton knows what he's doing in that holding block before. You put him in that 4-3-3, he sort of looked a bit lost.
Yeah, I'd agree.
To be honest, he looked a bit lost. And was looking to play more sideways than forward. Whereas playing in that defensive midfield, 9 times out of 10 he generally plays a ball forward.
Yep.
If Arroyo is the man up front and he's big and he's strong and he's quick, he will be fine up front by himself in a 1. You're still going to have Fitzgerald in and Hoffy going down that right-hand side.
Yep.
They can cut in if they so choose to. And in that's... They're going to... Because the defensive... our 3 attacking, say, midfielders across the front, behind the striker, are sitting further forward in a 4-2-3-1. No, they're sitting further forward in a 4-3-3, sorry.
Yep.
In a 4-2-3-1, they're sitting slightly back, which forces the defence of the opposition to play a higher line to meet them, thus creating space in those 2 back pockets for people like Fitzgerald and Hoffy, who are both quick, to find space in.
Yep.
That, to me, seems like a better solution. Again, I'll throw my hands in the air and say I'm not Ernie Merrick. I'm not a qualified manager, coach, whatever. But this is my footballing brain.
Yeah. Well, we will go a little bit into that formation, obviously, when we talk about the upcoming game this weekend. But before we do that, we'll finish off the game against the Coast, where the fans voted Dimi Petrados as man of the match. My opinion, again, strongly my opinion, I don't believe Dimi deserved the man of the match.
I would agree with that. My opinion too.
Yeah. Look, he played well. Again, I don't think there were many players that looked bad. Again, and even Johnny Kay, he had a bad game. Yeah. You know what I mean? Like it's not a week in week occurrence for him. Is where some people would probably say that for Redenton, and it's not that he does major things wrong. Redenton, he's looked, as you said, looks lost at times, and you sort of don't know what the hell he's doing, and I don't think he knows what he's doing. You know, sometimes
and that's the scary part. If you don't know what you're doing,
sometimes you look at him and go, it's scary. Like I don't think he knows where he needs to be or what's going on.
I don't think he knows where he wants to put that ball.
Yeah. But yeah, again, my opinion, I believe Miller should have got man of the match.
Yep.
He had a blinder, and again, obviously, it's what you do. It's what you have to do against your old club, especially in the derby.
Mm-hmm.
You have to shine. You have to make a point, not only to obviously the fans that you've left, but obviously the fans that you've gone to.
And he copped stick for that entire 90 minutes.
Oh, absolutely.
And got crunched by just about everybody.
And to be fair, you and I went and watched him in the FA Cup when they played Victory down here, and he looked shite.
He was not on his game.
He looked. I was worried as hell. I was like, oh God, what have we done? You know what I mean? What's going on here? But he redeemed himself, obviously, on Saturday night. He looked good. He looked really good. But again,
we'll know by the end of the season whether it's the Coast that are going to have a last laugh or whether it's us that are going to have a last laugh on Miller.
Yeah, exactly right.
And that's the only problem coming up from the Coast.
Yeah, exactly right. Disregard the baby noises in the background, guys, as well. Ben's on dad duties at the moment with his,
Correct.
what are we at now? 8 weeks? 10 weeks?
7 weeks.
7 weeks, there we go. 7-week-old Bubs who's just waking up from a 2.5 hour nap. So
More.
solid. Happy days.
More.
Oh, there you go. Solid. Bloody hell. All over the sleep pattern. So we will go into team of the week, which I'll get Ben to run through there just because I saw it on the
Yeah, all right.
computer.
So I'll run through it quickly. This has come from the A League website as their pick for the round 2 team of the week. So in goals, you've got Daniel Lopar from Western Sydney Wanderers. At right back, Ryan Grant from Sydney FC. Centre back, you've got Richard Winblitcher. I'll have to cut that one. At centre back, we've got Richard Winblitcher from Melbourne City. Kai Rolls makes it in for the Jippos as the other centre back. And unfortunately, Daniel Georgievski does take the left back spot for Western Sydney Wanderers. God damn it. 3 centre midfielders in Alessandro Diamanti from Western United. Keanu Bacchus from Western Sydney Wanderers, purely based on that freak of a goal he scored. And Milan Djuric for the Coast as well, probably for hitting the post and scoring a similar goal to Keanu Bacchus. And then up front, you've got Ulysses Davila from the Knicks and Alex Meyer from Western Sydney Wanderers. Yeah.
Quickly before, obviously, we go further away from the coast, big shout out must go to obviously all the travelling fans. 2,000 odd of you guys down the coast on the train. As always, we don't expect any less. They don't send 2,000 down to watch the Coast play in Newcastle, so we've got to make up for it.
Yep, and congrats to all those that did the walk for Movie Mountains with Ash as well.
Yeah, absolutely. Massive effort. 24 hours or whatever.
I think Adam Peacock drove up to do part of the walk or something before he had to do his Fox Sports obligations.
Yeah, met him somewhere and done a little bit of it as well. And obviously Laurie was there as well. And yeah, I couldn't imagine. My legs are totally thinking of it. So good cause, and obviously hopefully they've raised plenty of money, and obviously good to see Ash obviously lead the guys out, and hopefully the recovery goes well, mate. And obviously you've made some money to help with all the needs, mate. So
they're doing a black tie gala now as well.
Yeah, well, they're talking about doing
seen that pop up.
The guys are talking about doing one for the return league from the coast back to Newcastle.
Yeah.
So
I did see that.
Yeah, look, get onto Moving Mountains, and I'm sure the more people that can get into it and do it, all for a good cause and so forth. So good on them for that. But yeah, obviously, well done to Laurie and Joel and the guys who done the march and the flares. Got to mention the flares. How good is Pyro? Pyro is just unbelievable.
We can't have a match without Pyro.
Oh, absolutely. If I can't make the games, it's what I'm looking for on a good march.
Yeah, all the videos that crop up on YouTube in the tunnel.
Yeah,
that's what we look for.
The tunnel, and obviously just echoes like hell. It's great atmosphere. Well done to the guys. Obviously getting all that stuff, and obviously
and the flags out at Gosford Hotel.
Yeah, so and obviously thanks to the Gosford Hotel for putting us up and not kicking too many people out, I'm sure. But yeah, obviously back to the team of the week, mate. Look, compared to last week, as I said, last week I sort of went, welcome to the A League Western United, for putting a few of them in there, but there's not much I would really change in this team of the week, to be fair.
I wouldn't change any of it, to be fair.
Lopez, he's a class above. He's unbelievable. The Western Sydney are right on it this year. I think they're going to be a hard.
They're going to be a hard team to beat.
I still think they're going to choke and they're going to struggle at the pointy end when it comes to the semi-finals, but
they're not going to choke as good as City did in the FFA Cup final.
We'll get to that.
God, wasn't that an experience?
But at the same time, it's going to be a fortress. Going down to West, going down to
Bank West,
Bank West. It's going to be a fortress down there, and it's going to be hard to pick up points. Good on Jajewski. Like, he had a blinder, and
he always does.
It shitted me and to watch it just because I was like, he could be doing that in a Jet shirt. He could have been.
He did used to do that in a Jet shirt.
Yeah, but he could be doing it right now.
Yeah,
you know what I mean?
And I said
to you,
doing it right I said now. To you when it came out that Georgievski was leaving, I turned around and said to you, that's going to be a big mistake.
Yeah.
Because at 30 odd, God, he's still got it.
Everyone was saying it was going to be a mistake. But yeah, everything else, I think probably Jurek is probably the only one for me that probably, he didn't do a great deal for the Coast. It was a shit, both sides were playing poor. Yes, he scored. Yes, he hit the post.
See, I'm more inclined to say Keanu Backus doesn't deserve to be in that because he's only gotten in that purely for his goal.
Oh.
Yes.
Yeah.
Yes.
I don't know. The squad, Western City himself, the whole team played well. They were a very strong unit. But yeah, again, guys, feel free to leave down in the comments your thoughts, who you may have added, or
feel free to tell us we're idiots and we know nothing.
100%. Yeah, I'm absolutely keen for that. But yeah, obviously that's the team of the week anyway, and here's hoping round 3 Newcastle Jets.
Yeah, well, yeah, we can actually get somebody in there.
Let's get someone in there.
And hopefully Jordeski doesn't get it for 3 weeks in a row.
Well, yeah, time will tell.
Well, Lopez ready to hit 3 on the bounce.
He deserves it. But from what I've seen so far, best keeper in the league so far.
Yeah, between him and Kurto.
Yeah, 100%.
Anyway, we'll move on now to the FFA Cup game that was held. How are we going to say this? Yesterday, before, yesterday, coming out tonight. Is this yesterday?
Yeah, 100%. Yeah, they played on Wednesday. We were recording on Thursday. Let's leave it at that. For everyone out there wondering when we record.
What we're on about.
Obviously FFA Cup, good game, really good game.
Cracking game.
Not what I expected. A good mate of ours is obviously big part of the Red Army, and born and bred in Adelaide, and he would have been there drinking plenty. And I was worried for
this morning when he was messaging me.
No, he didn't go to work. Obviously, good on him. I was worried for him. I thought City were going to come out and they were going to. I thought it was going to be big trouble.
On paper, and this is where I'll premise this by saying games are not won on paper. On paper, City should have wiped the floor.
Yeah, 100%. 100%.
They got absolutely torn apart.
Yeah.
Absolutely torn apart by a very fit and firing, hungry Adelaide United side. Me and you have discussed in previous weeks Adelaide's lack of a goal scorer.
Yep.
Didn't seem to be an issue last night, especially when the other side had a Socceroos goal scorer who's in quite mighty fine form at the moment.
So they say. What did I hear the other night? Best striker. Best striker for Australia at the moment. I'd probably disagree with that.
I would too. Taggart?
Taggart's got to be on par there. He's playing, in my opinion,
he's killing it in a career.
A much tougher league than the A League, and obviously scoring goals.
Much more technical league too.
A lot more technical, exactly. But needless to say, Adelaide done an unbelievable job. I would love to see how many touches on the ball McLaren had. It can't have been many.
Probably about less than half of what Al Hassan Toure had. That young kid is going to be.
Wow.
Now I had a discussion with you about this yesterday too. Al Hassan Toure, which way is he going to go? Is he going to be a starlet, or is he going to be Adelaide's next Bruce Kamau?
Yep. And it's going to be. Look, it'll be interesting to see what happens. Hopefully he stays and he gets the coaching and gets what he needs out of the A League and doesn't leave too early. As some have.
Or leave for anywhere else in the A League.
Yeah. Strong advice to you, mate. Don't
go to City.
Don't go to Celtic.
Or City.
If you go to City, you'll end up at Celtic. But yeah, look, to be fair though, after looking at the lineup that City produced, I was worried then. Before it came out, before the squads came out, I was like, yeah, City should win this.
Yeah, City weren't half-arsing it.
But when City came out with the squad, I was like, wow, they've got no one on the bench.
Yeah.
Like, it was literally nobody to come off the bench. I think that was a big issue. Because when they did go to the bench, they had a lot of youth to go for.
Yeah, they had like Rami Najjarine,
Genru and...
Dennis Genru.
Yeah, what's the other one?
Wimbickler.
That's the one. Sorry, mate, butchered your name twice.
He's class. I just don't think he's fit yet.
Yeah.
But he's like, and in my opinion, this is going to be controversial to quite a lot of Jets fans. One of my for a long time, favourite centre-backs was a Melbourne City centre-back, and that was Bart Schenkenveld.
Yeah.
Until he absolutely railed one of the Jets players and acted on like a dirty twat. then I went from really, really liking him to absolutely despising him. But you couldn't deny his class. Wimbickler has come in to be the next Barchengenfeld.
Yep. Obviously, Adelaide ended up running away with it 4-0.
And run away they did.
Funny enough, all of their front four scored.
Yep.
So
not only did all of their front four score...
Coming from me, I will put my hand up and saying that I still feel, again, like Troy aside, their strike power is not looking good. But
it's still not one to be underestimated either.
But if they play like that every week, they don't have to worry about the front line because it's coming from the midfield. So and leading with McGree. McGree's going to lead that charge. And
yep, he's the midfield force. He's the one that's... He's almost like the young but the experienced sort of player. He's like sort of stepped in to fill that Isaias role that's been left.
Yep.
And even still, Adelaide still weren't at full strength. They're still missing Mirko Boland.
Yeah.
But yeah, it's almost like McGree has taken the mould of Isaias at like however old fucking McGree is, 22?
Yeah, McGree, yeah.
And he's just gone, right, this is my team now, and this is how we do things. And he's just going to go straight through it. But it's not... It's one thing to, with a youthful side like that, to take down Melbourne City 4-0.
Yep.
But to make them look like absolute fools on national television by doing nutmegs for fun to get round them on more than one occasion, that to me takes the cake. That to me shows an Adelaide side that aren't scared to try something different to get the edge.
Yeah. To be fair as well, they played my favourite midfield, where it's a 5.
Yeah.
You know, you got the 4 on the outside and the 1 in the middle, obviously being McGree. I think it works well because obviously you can run diagonal play very well, which is what they did. They fired out to the wings and obviously got the ball through the middle very easy. And again, if Troy didn't have the game that he did, could have been a very different game.
Oh, of course.
With him only up front, if their centre back, I can't remember his name now.
Mikael Jakobsen, the one that City threw away.
The one that City threw away.
Who I thought should have gotten the Mark Viduka medal, but anyway, again, controversial opinion.
No, sorry.
You got to give it to the young kid.
For City, Delbridge.
Delbridge, yeah.
But for a young bloke like Traore to obviously destroy...
He's skinned. He made him look like a fool.
Oh, man. Yeah, made him look like it's about time to retire, mate.
And this, a player that Fox Sports can consistently turn around and say is one of the best defenders in the league. Don't know where they got that from.
Yeah, well, yeah.
Again, probably their opinion. I don't think he's the best defender in the league, not by a long shot. I don't think.
No.
But yeah, like I said, there's one thing to beat them 4-0 and absolutely pull their pants down, but to make them look like fools chasing tails, like that takes balls.
Yeah. But at the end of the day, congratulations, Adelaide.
Congrats,
what about now? Three FFA Cups, the Cup specialists. Is my
cup setters.
My opinion, the best stadium in the A League. 15,000 people in that stadium. It would have been rocking.
And it was.
Thank Christ it wasn't raining, because 15,000 people would have been very upset.
Yeah.
Sitting out there in the rain, but yeah, one of the best stadiums I've ever watched football at in Australia, and yeah, 15,000 people. Good on them. Congratulations, and
congrats to the young bloke from Brisbane Strikers as well for getting the the best NPL player in the FFA Cup too.
Yeah, absolutely. Congratulations to him. We'll see what happens next year. See if he's still in the NPL.
See if he's at Brisbane Roar or not.
See how many people are looking for a scout room next season. So, we will move obviously on to the upcoming game preview, round 3. Adelaide United travel to Newcastle on Saturday evening. I believe it's a 5 p.m. kickoff. FFA Cup midweek, quick turnaround trip to Newcastle. Is it gonna change Adelaide's perspective? Are they gonna be underdone? How many beers have they had? Not many, I bet.
Well, I was speaking to Robbie about this earlier today as well. As much look, they're going to be knackered. They're going to be tired. They're not going to be running a full strength squad. They can't. They won't last the 90. But look, Alassane Touré, if he's fit, will play. That's probably why they brought him off early.
Mm-hmm.
Mila Jusnic is one to recover pretty quickly too.
Yep. And
he always causes us trouble. But yeah, it's a tight one to call. I mean, us coming off our first game quite sloppy, them coming off cup win, but still a relatively depleted squad, could go either way.
Yep.
I'd like if Adelaide were to gift us 3 points. That would be fantastic. So we don't drop below the coast, and we get a win under our belt, and Adelaide gets a cup. It's win-win. They can make up those 3 points at the later part of the season.
Yeah, the 20-man squad came out today, and as everyone, I'm sure every Jets fan would assume that it's unchanged pretty well because we haven't got much to play with anyway. So if we've got an injury, it's pretty much one of the guys that come off the bench.
Yep.
Going to fill that spot. Obviously, the only one being Canner, who's obviously come into the squad. As you said, I believe that he'll definitely come off the bench. He won't start. Mm-hmm. I think Redenson saves his spot for one more week. Hopefully not in the centre of midfield though. That
is danger.
That's danger. I think if you're going to do that, I think
put him on the side where he's got support.
Stevie UG needs to come into the middle and
agreed,
and play him out wide somewhere, which
is
in my opinion. But 5 p.m. kickoff Saturday night. I believe kids getting free with the paying adults. So that's obviously another incentive. Laurie, I believe, posted about 20 minutes ago, actually. What are we at? 9,500 at the moment.
Beautiful.
Members. So let's crack it. We've still got a couple of days before we get to a couple of days before we get to the actual game. So 500 people in a couple of days get 10,000 for the game. That'd be fantastic. Get on board, guys. Memberships. That's
cheap.
A big one. That's a cheap.
We whinged about this last year too. They're cheap.
Get your kits. Get your shirts. Get your merch. Get everything you need. And
still got to buy me kits.
We'll get there. The 9th. We're up there for the 9th. Perth Glory.
Buying them
there. What I was going to say. So yeah, obviously, it's going to be interesting, mate. Obviously, what are your thoughts? What are your thoughts? First win of the season against Adelaide at home. They're in pretty.
If it's going to happen, it's going to happen. If it's going to happen, we pick the best week. We pick the best week to play Adelaide.
Correct. 100%. If they're showing any weakness of injuries or niggles or tiredness and stuff like that,
it's the week to get them.
100% week to get them. I'm gonna tip. I'm going to tip a 2-1 win, and we'll score one very, very late.
I'm going to go 1-0 win.
1-0. We're going to stop it. We're going to stop Traore and McBree, and I can't see McBree coming to Newcastle and scoring a goal.
I don't want to believe that, so I'm going to go.
He scored one against City.
I don't care if I'm wrong.
Even your daughter's in the ground.
Yeah, even she's growling at me. Continue on the pod, mate, while I
having a good laugh at you.
I hand her over to Mum.
But yeah, obviously, he came in and scored against.
As we swap chairs.
Yeah, as we swap chairs. What was I going to say? Yeah, he scored against City, obviously, the previous club. So myself personally, I can't see him not scoring against us as much as it pains me to say it. Big stretch. What was I going to say as well, guys? Obviously, yeah, as we were saying before, well, Ben obviously quickly ducks off because that's how professional we are in this game. Be sure to obviously, get down there. As you said, kids are free, so no excuse to palm off to grandma and grandpa. Bring mum and dad and grandma and grandpa down to the game. More the merrier. Why the hell not? So, that's our predictions anyway. Again, as we say every week, guys, leave your comments, whatever you want to talk about down the bottom in the channel. We'll reply to you, and if you got a question or anything like that, we'll definitely say it in the following week's podcast or anything like that.
You guys have got anything that you want to discuss or you want us to
topics
discuss, or even you want to get involved in a discussion yourself.
Yeah, you just want to jump on the show. As I said, we're
open to it.
More than happy to have anyone on the show and get you 2 bobs worth and everything else. I know a few guys have contacted me about possibly getting on and doing a conversation in regards to active support.
Mm-hmm.
As there's plenty of guys sort of still floating around and wondering what's going to happen there. It's been a bit dead in last year was pretty average for me, still being up in Newcastle. So obviously, a lot of guys there obviously wondering what's going on there. Is it going to be an active support? Is it going to be, I just want it to be back to where it was, And I know it's not going to get there overnight. There's nothing worse going to watch the Jets play at home and the active support dwindling.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? It's just.
For me, it's a rare occurrence, but.
Oh yeah, of course. But you want to hear it even when we're sitting at home. We want to hear it. We want to be able to. We want them, if the game's boring, be going to the active support, and they do that with City. They do that with Melbourne and Western Sydney and stuff like that. Because if they're doing something more exciting than football, which happens a lot in the A League,
we need a red army.
Yeah.
They did not shut up on the game. All I could hear was them through the effects mic.
Yeah.
All night.
Yeah.
And when I thought it wasn't loud enough, I got a text message. I sent one back, and 3 minutes later on the broadcast, it got even bloody louder.
Look, as I said, I know Matt Vandenberg is heavily involved with it. Matty, if you're listening, mate, get in contact with us, and if you want to jump on and have a chat about it and what your plans are and stuff. I know there was talks of getting some scarves made up, like some new. Obviously, we've got the merchandise ones from the club, but some proper ones for like the actual supportive bay, which we used to have with the squadron and the NCL and stuff like that. So
Zad's lads.
I think they had one, didn't they? Obviously Matty or anyone who knows Matty as well. I know Matty, so I can contact himself if need be. But
let's be fair. Who doesn't know Matty?
I think I was going to say who in Newcastle doesn't know Matty. But I think that's probably another topic we need to sort of start talking about, because myself, I'm intrigued. Intrigued. You know what I mean? We're coming up on the 9th and stuff like that, and for me for me now, it's an away day.
Yeah. It always is for me.
Yeah, well, it is. Yeah, but that's it. For me, it's an away day. So I want to get up, I want to get in with the boys and get on the beers and chant and dance and whatever.
Just fart around.
If it's that hot and start doing what the Kiwis do and they rip their shirt off or whatever it is, whatever. Don't care. Whatever it may be. It's bloody stinking hot down here at the moment. So if it's like that in 2 weeks' time.
Yeah, but if you do that at a game down here, you're putting it back on within 10 minutes because it's pissing or rain.
Yeah. But anyway, we're dribbling a bit now. But obviously we've talked about that. What was your prediction, sorry?
1-0.
1-0. I'm going with obviously a 2-1 victory to us with a late winner. Again, leave your tips and so forth down the bottom. But before we end the show, we're going to jump into Laurie's questions. And this week we've got two questions. One from you. I believe you asked him a question. And
well, only because we didn't really have any. But before we go into this, roll the tune.
Oh, McKenna's magic. He wears a magic hat. He used to coach the coasties, but then he said that. He came to us to run the club, so that makes it all right. And when we win the championship, we'll sing the song all night.
And it never gets old.
It never does. Oh, it never does.
I'm gonna have to get on to him and get him to redo one. Just revamp it.
Yeah.
We need to get them. Like when
Sean
Joey
dubstep
when Joey comes back, I wonder if he could rap it.
Yes, so much yes.
Yeah, that would be sick.
And then we'll get Sean to do a dubstep remix of that rap.
Oh yes,
for us.
Oh, we're all over it. Freaking look at this.
We're all over it. We got it done.
Absolutely. But yeah, classic. His magic hat, loves it. So this week, as I said, we'll get your question out first, mate.
Steve will get a good laugh at this.
Steve should obviously. I'll make sure he watches if he's not going to do it. You asked if you had to choose one club, being Aston Villa, or Birmingham City, who would it be? And obviously why. His response virtually came back saying, has to be Birmingham City because they play in royal blue.
Yes!
Straight to the point, and fair enough. Obviously being a Rangers fan.
Yeah, me too.
Thank God I'm not calling Everton royal blue, thank God for that.
No.
Wouldn't be talking then. But yeah,
What a legend.
what a legend. He only said it because he knows you're a Birmingham fan. I was expecting
I was expecting him to say Villa just because he knows I am a Birmingham fan.
Yeah, I was expecting him to really change it up and just go, no, I'm a Villa fan. I'd rather watch Villa beat Birmingham. But anyway, another question obviously we got asked, or I was asked to ask him, came from one of our viewers, Dale Wood. And he asked, a very interesting question, who was the best player you have played with in your career?
Mm-hmm.
Now, it could have been a lot of people, especially playing in the old NSL and so forth. So
many great names.
Yeah,
a lot of great teams too.
Plenty of great teams he played with. Obviously down in Melbourne to Sydney to obviously up to Newcastle, the Breakers at the end of it. But he came back with a what was his name? We got
Zarko Odzakov.
That's the one. Zarko
Odzakov.
What have you got any stats on him, mate? What's your
I do.
Where was he? Was he born in Australia? Is he?
No, he was not, mate. He was born in Skopje in the former Soviet Republic of Yugoslavia. Was a midfielder. Played before he came out here to Australia for FK Vardar, which is in the Serbian league, quite a well-known side. He also, when he did come out here, played for Preston, Macedonia, Sydney, Croatia, whilst finishing up for Blacktown City. But did play for the Socceroos.
Hey, happy days.
Did play for the Socceroos. I think it was 13 caps. I'm pretty sure it was.
Yep.
In the, what was it, the 70s? No,
the 80s. 87, I think it was the latter end of his career, I think.
Yeah, 85 to 87. Yeah. Played 13 times, scored 3 goals. Even played futsal in 89 for Australia.
Oh yeah, we were playing futsal back then?
Apparently we were. Wow. Did go dabble into a little bit of management later on. After he did retire, he did go back to overseas. And managed FK Vardar, the team that he started it all with in 2001, and managed the Macedonia under-21s from 2002 to 2003.
Well, there you go. Laurie said he was a big unit who was technically gifted on the ball.
Yeah, and they played together at Blacktown.
Yeah. Yeah, 87. So yeah, obviously, thanks Dale for your question, mate, and obviously you've been yourself. But yeah, strongly can't just say to you guys enough. Obviously, leave your comment down the bottom. Jump onto the Crossbar Capers Facebook page, or if everyone who knows me, message me directly on Facebook and so forth. Give us your questions. As I said, obscure ones like that. As I said, they don't have to be.
This is a consistent thing for the entire season.
100%. Every week. 1 to 2 questions, depending on a couple of quick questions if they're nice and easy, or sort of silly questions like the Birmingham one.
Yep.
We'd support either side, to be fair.
Shut up.
Podcast over.
Yeah, we're done. No, we're not.
We're not far from it. But yeah, look, as I said, guys, get the questions out. As I said, I'm sure Laurie would love a very weird question sitting there while he's having his shandy on his veranda up at Terrigal. Some really random ass question. What the hell?
What the hell do they want to know this week?
Yeah, I'm sure he looks forward to it.
Oh, maybe we should ask him what kind of lemonade what brand of lemonade does he put in his shandy?
Oh yes, one of the guys.
There you go, there's one.
Yes.
If everyone's interested to know what brand of lemonade Laurie McKinnon puts in his shandies, this is the place to find out.
Low sugar diet.
Low sugar, yeah.
Is he working on that figure?
Oh.
But yeah, so yeah. As I said, we virtually end the show every week with obviously Laurie McKinnon's questions. So again, feel free to jump on, leave it somewhere
on the socials.
Socials always. Thank you very much, mate, again for being here.
Not a problem, mate. It is always a pleasure.
And yeah, so next week I have been asked by a few people, would we consider putting like a little bit of other football into it? So like major stuff, something miraculous happens, like Tottenham finally getting a win.
Poch kept his job.
Yeah.
Rowan's gone to Millwall.
Tipping comp for how long Solskjaer's got left in his job. Like, basic good stuff.
Hey, I called Mourinho one. What makes you think I can't call this one too?
Oh, he's got till Christmas.
Yeah, if then.
And he'll want a good bloody result between now and Christmas. So yeah, we may throw a little bit of major breaking news and stuff like that in there. Champions League stuff. Obviously, if it's that week, international.
I suppose it depends on the time that we decide we want to record and get it out.
Again, it's
all time permitting.
100%. But yeah, that was a good one. Tottenham finally got a win.
Yeah, or Gary Rowett being hired by Millwall.
Gary Rowett, yeah, that was an
He's back in the championship.
Poor bugger. Poor Millwall.
Poor bloke.
Lucky Cahill got it when he did.
Davidson got out when he did.
Yeah, well, that's probably a good idea as well. But yeah, too easy, guys. Muchly appreciated. Thanks again for obviously tuning in. Be sure to obviously give us a like. Obviously, share away. I can't recommend that enough. Share. And obviously subscribe as well if you haven't done so already. And we'll be back next week where we will obviously talk about the game against Adelaide on the weekend and then get into the next one, which I'm pretty sure is in Sydney.
Can't remember off the top of my head.
No idea.
We'll worry about that when we
I don't think that far ahead.
Neither.
I'm going Sydney. Don't quote me on that. But yeah, thanks again, mate. Muchly appreciated. Thanks everyone for watching, and we'll see you next week. And as always, we hate
close scum.